Hello everyone and welcome then guys to round 1 of the Apex Online Racing Christmas Classic Cup, where we today are going to be taking 5 of the 1990s, 2000s and 2010 Formula 1 cars around different circuits around the Formula 1 world in a 5-race sprint series across the Christmas season every Saturday and every Wednesday between now and the 3rd of January. So really looking forward to this series, really hoping I can do quite well. I am such a fan of these classic cars. So first of all then, today we are heading back to the early 1990s and we are joined with a 3.5 litre V12 Mclaren MP4-6. Really looking forward to this first round. Had done a fair bit of practice for this race, so was feeling quite confident based on a lot of the other drivers' pace that I'd seen. It was looking like I could be fighting for the win, but I'm going to leave you on board then. First of all, like I always do, with my qualifying run, I would highly recommend you turn your sound up for this. It is such an incredible car. But as we come down then in towards the final couple of corners of this qualifying run, it's actually been overall a very nice run. They're able to hook up both of the final chicane there very nicely down towards the line, minimising the wheel spin, and we go pole by nearly a second there over Shamil Heskey. But we still have one driver that we certainly were waiting for to see what he was able to do towards the end of his run, and that was Mr. TRL Limitless here, one of the renowned AOR league races here. Unfortunately, I couldn't run maximum revs throughout all of my qualifying runs, so I was doubtful, that I was going to be able to get the pole. But as he comes down through the final couple of corners to finish his lap, what position is he going to be? And it's only going to be P2 for TRL Limitless there. So somehow, even without being able to use max revs all the way around my lap, we have been able to get pole by quarter of a second there, near enough. So very happy with that. A couple of other drivers with notable results. Hayden actually doing very well to get up into P3. He was quite, a little surprise coming in to this race as well. But having a look then at the final results, it was myself ahead of Limitless, both of us able to just sneak into the 1:38 there, with Hayden 3rd, Shamil Heskey 4th, JB183 5th, with TR Devout in 6th, KJ Gamer 7th, Heist F1 8th, Mini Dude 9th, Giant 10th, Fluffy Pillow 11th, Jazza 12th, Jack Hotwood 13th, and Senna, quite ironically, down in P14 there. But here we are then on the grid, ready for this race. It should be a no-stop Grand Prix, but it's going to be very tight in these 1990s McLarens. But here we are then on the grid. It's 5 lights, and it is lights out, and away we go, and off to a very wheel spinny start there. For some reason, my car decided to short shift all the way up into 3rd gear there, which really gave JD a bit of a better run than I was really hoping he would do. But down through turn 1, just able to swing it right around the outside of him, having, the utmost confidence that he would, eventually back out of the move there. But now, through these first couple of corners, just going to try and, control the pace a bit. Want to make sure I'm ready and comfortable with this car. Obviously, a lot more fuel on board than we had in qualifying here. So really just going to make sure, that we are still definitely within the rhythm. We are still working quite nicely with this car through the first couple of laps here. So, especially through that first sector. Nowhere, you know, that you can pounce on any opportunities there, so we can really, you know, control the pace through those first couple of corners here. But down in towards the hairpin on lap 1, make sure we do get a nice clean run out of the corner, and now I was set to just absolutely push through these next few laps and try to just create a bit of a gap over JD. So we set the fastest lap on the end of lap 1 of the Grand Prix. We go another couple of seconds quicker on the second lap there, already down into the low 1 minute 40s here, so very happy with the pace very early on. And third lap in a row we go quicker just again, not by much that time, but we still set another fastest lap, and then a couple of laps later we go even faster once more, getting so close to the 1 minute 39s in this race. And that was really going to be one of the aims from myself, you know, try and get into the 1 minute 39s in the race there. And down towards the line, yes we do, a 1 minute 39.9 there. Very happy with that lap. In the early stage, you can see the gap already by halfway through. It's already up to a good couple of seconds over JD behind me. We decide, you know, on the end of lap 7 we give it one more run, and we are able to go quicker once more there on a 1 minute 39.8 there. So very happy with the early stages of the race, and now we've been able to build myself up the gap that I really did desire in this Grand Prix, because the second half of the race was going to be all about trying to save those tyres. You can see with 4 laps to go of the Grand Prix, the tyres were already up to 60%, which I thought personally, you know, was actually quite fine for me. I'd done a couple of test runs and I've been able to get the tyres right through to the very end of the Grand Prix on about sort of 84-85% tyre wear, so I was hoping, you know, we could just see a repeat of that in this race. And at this moment in time, you know, I felt fairly overall in control. You know, I had the gap, I had the pace still, and it was looking good for myself. But as we came on to lap 11, you can see the tyre wear now pushing up towards 70%, and, you know, JD was starting to close in. He saved his tyres a little bit earlier on, and now we're starting to reap the benefits of it. He actually did have a 3-second time penalty though as well, so honestly for me, you know, if he got past me again, it wasn't really going to bother me too much. The gap still, you see, over 3 seconds here, so he started to close in the gap just a bit, but, you know, you can see how early we are now braking down in towards the corners here. You know, not really trying to push this car too much anymore in towards the final few laps of this Grand Prix. As we now skip on to the final laps, you can see the tyres are up to 77% here, so you can just see how tight this Grand Prix was actually going to be on the no-stop. But as I said, you know, I'd done a couple of runs, it had worked out alright for myself in those practices, so, you know, just hoping that it would happen, you know, one third and final time. You can see the gap to JD was back down to around 2 seconds now, so he was still pushing to try and close down that gap, but, you know, we led every single lap of this Grand Prix up to this point, so, you know, it was feeling quite nice up towards this moment in time. To see the tyres though are still rising and rising on the, you know, wear rates. The first, obviously, sector does tend to, you know, really abuse the rear right, and then the second sector tends to hurt the rear left just that bit more. But now we have got the exclamation mark on the tyres, and that means from this point onwards they can blow at any point. So we now just need to pray towards the end of this race that these tyres do not go. And as I said, in practice, those tyres, you know, they could hold on towards, you know, sort of 90% upwards in that region. But unfortunately for me, as we come through Spoon Curve there, the tyre has gone as low as it goes. Tira Limitless flies past me there, absolutely relishing the opportunity to take the lead for the first time whatsoever in this Grand Prix, and that is absolute heartbreak for myself. But, you know, we can't give up just yet. We've still got a sector to go in this Grand Prix, and points are going to be absolutely crucial. You know, only a 5-race season, so, you know, still need to try and score as many points as we possibly can there. So still, you know, an absolute maximum attack as we go through 130R. Although it may not look like it, you know, cars with a puncture are exceptionally hard to try and keep control of. As we come through the Casio Triangle though, and Hayden is all over my back end there, and unfortunately for me, we've been robbed of P2 as well there. P3 across the line at the end of that Grand Prix. That is certainly not what we wanted from that race. Absolute heartbreak right towards the very end there. And as I said, you know, it had worked in practice, and I was sort of expecting and hoping that it would work in the race. But that's the luck of the draw you get with F1 2017, and I think it's safe to say, you know, JD hasn't always had the luck in the past, so fair play to him, you know, to be able to pick up the pieces right at the very end there though. But yeah, gutting, I'm not going to lie. It does mean we start ahead of Hayden and JD for the second round of the season. So hopefully, if I can just try and outscore those guys by a good few points at Spa next time out, then maybe, you know, we could be... Well, we're certainly not out of the fight already in this series there. But as I said, JD able to take home the win, even though he had a time penalty. Gutted, you know, that Hayden didn't have a time penalty there, so he was able to hold on to P2. Jamie in P4, KJ Gamer P5, Mini Dude up in P6 there with Heist F1, Fluffy Pillow, Jack Hopwood and Jazza rounding at the top 10 there with, I think, Devout Fire, the only driver to actually retire from that Grand Prix. But there we are though, guys. That has been the end of round 1 of the AOR Christmas Classic Cup. Gutted, I think, is the only way to describe it there. But overall, a real confidence filler as well. But thank you all so much for watching. Do not forget to like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you guys next time for a brand new video.